Hi boys and girls, it's Miss Rossi. Today we are going to make a picture using positive and negative space. Let's get started. What you'll be needing today is a piece of paper, a pencil, a Sharpie pen or some other type of pen, a skinny marker, a colored pencil could work instead, whatever you have available, a scissor, and a glue stick. What we are going to do first is fold our paper in half. And I folded my paper in half while I was holding it landscape style or horizontally, so it's longest going left to right. And I folded it like a book. It doesn't have to be perfect, but if you line up those corners and hold it down and then press against your table, you should get a pretty perfect fold that splits your paper perfectly in half. Now what we are going to do next is pick one side of our paper and create a pattern on it. You can do any kind of design or pattern you would like. I'm going to use a bunch of different lines and points to create a nice design that covers this entire half of my paper, from my folded edge all the way over to the other side. I'm going to go in directly with my Sharpie pen. If you want to draw your pattern first in pencil so you don't make a mistake, you can do that. If you want to do this in multiple different colors, you can also. I'm just going to keep mine black and white today. Now that I've finished my design on one half of my paper, I'm going to get a second piece of paper that is the same size as my first piece of paper. I'm going to put that to the side. I'm going to grab my pencil. So on this patterned half of my paper, I'm going to trace around my hand with my pencil. You can spread your fingers out if you have more space. You can make your hand position however you would like. With your scissors, you're going to cut out your hand along your pencil line. We want to cut this out in one piece. So once I start cutting, I need to continue following my pencil line until I get to the other side of my hand. I do not want to cut off little pieces at a time because we want to be left with one piece of paper that has a hole in it and one piece of paper that has the shape of our hand in it. So I'm just going to very carefully cut along these lines. So you should be left with one piece of your paper with a space in it where you just cut your hand out and your hand paper. I'm going to put my hand paper to the side, and on my extra piece of paper I'm going to glue down the one that I colored and I folded in half so it is perfectly flat and lined up with my extra piece of paper. An easy way to do that is to line up your corners by holding it upright on the table so you know that it is falling in place. So I'm going to take my glue stick and I'm going to start by adding glue to my blank piece of paper, just like that. Because once I line up this side, I know the other half is going to be lined up. So I'm matching my corners, just like that. I give it a tap on the table so it falls into place. And I'm going to massage that half of my paper so I know that it sticks. If I can see that I need a little bit more glue because it is peeling up, I can add some more glue now that it is in place. I'm going to glue down my other half. So I can actually fold this half right over and put glue on the back of it making sure I get glue on all those extra pieces where I just cut my hand out. And then I can flip it over and press it down. And it is already lined up since I lined up my blank side first. Once your paper looks like this, you're going to take your hand and we're going to glue our hand on the other side. I want to put my hand facing the opposite direction than the whole of my hand. And now we are creating an image that is showing positive and negative space. Positive space is what is taking up most of your drawing. It is mostly the foreground of your picture. It is whatever your drawing is a picture of. So right now my drawing is a picture of this pattern that I created with this hand. So on one half of my paper, my positive space is going to be the hand, and on the other half of the paper, my negative space is going to be the hand. Because my pattern is more of the subject, once I glue this half on, I'm lining it up with the edge, just like that. So now my hand on this side is the positive space. It has the pattern. It is what you notice first. And the negative space is that white background. And I had my hand facing the opposite direction, so I have one hand going up and one hand going down. You can do it both going the same direction. It is up to you. I just like the way that that looks better. You can do this with any kind of design or pattern to create your picture. You do not have to do the same thing that I did. If you want to use different colors to create your pattern, that could also come out really, really cool. Just make sure as you're cutting out your hand that you're cutting it out in one big piece. If you have any pencil lines left over, I see some left over on this side. Now that my glue has started to dry, I can go in and erase those, and since I used Sharpie, it is not going to come up as I'm erasing. Once you are finished, take a picture and share it with me on your Google Doc. I can't wait to see the amazing work you create. Try your best, have fun, and get creative. Bye!